Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. The FBI has warned of an increase in a type of cryptocurrency investment scam known as pig butchering. The name refers to the fattening up of animals before slaughter. In the crypto scam, swindlers fatten up unsuspecting victims online by gaining their trust through friendship or romance, then go in for the kill by convincing them to invest in bogus cryptocurrencies. Nick has the details on this long con.
Annie, a young professional in Hong Kong, thought she'd finally found the love of her life on dating app Bumble. He claimed to be a Chinese engineer. Soon he was calling her on the phone every day, even though they hadn't met in person.
I think the pandemic made many people lonelier. During that time, I thought I'd found someone, a person who speaks in your ear every day, even though you don't see him. I sometimes joke that he kind of provided a service, only that you didn't know the service would cost you so much.
Annie eventually lost $130,000 after being convinced by her online beau to trade crypto on what later turned out to be a fake exchange.
At the time, I didn't suspect that he was a scammer. Some of my friends had asked me to be careful, saying that there are many scammers online. They said con artists would make up stories about their mom being sick and ask you for money, but this person had never outright asked me to give him money.
And that's precisely the MO of this crypto investment scam.
It's called pig butchering, and it's a brutally effective crypto romance scam that involves crime syndicates, modern-day slavery, and victims around the world.
The swindlers don't outright ask you for money. Instead, they slowly build a relationship with you over the course of weeks or months. Scammers cold contact people via text or on social media. Using false identities, they blast out tens of thousands of messages a day to unsuspecting victims.
There's a new scam out there that's taking aim at vulnerable and potentially lonely people. The whole thing starts with a simple message from a seemingly friendly stranger, but it often ends with emotional and financial ruin.
Pig butchering is a new type of scam that involves cryptocurrency and uses this rather colorful metaphor, pigs and butchering. So in this case, pigs means a victim, a person who is tricked into being sort of fattened up. You're enticed to spending more and more and more and more money. You're getting fattened up, and then at some point you're butchered or slaughtered, which means, sort of, to mix metaphors a little bit, the rug is pulled out from under you.
Pig butchering is a common tactic used by scammers where they fatten up your wallet before they take it all away. They do this with phony investments that make it seem like you're gaining money.
After establishing a rapport, they'll start introducing the idea that they've been making a lot of money in cryptocurrency or other investments, and they'll tell you to get involved while you can.
Eventually, the victim is persuaded to convert their cash into cryptocurrency and transfer a large amount to the scammers. At this point, the money disappears.
The FBI says pig butchering scams are costing victims hundreds of millions of dollars annually.
What makes these scams different is that the people behind them are part of a global, organised crime syndicate. And what's even more sinister is that the scammers are often victims themselves.
Oftentimes, the online predator is a victim too, having been duped into the job by human trafficking syndicates promising high-paying, legitimate work in Laos, Myanmar, or Cambodia.
Upon landing in Cambodia, I was sent directly to a compound. Once I arrived, it was too late to escape. When I saw the 3-meter-tall wall and barbed wires, I was terrified. All the security guards at the entrance were armed. I tried to escape 4 times in the span of 20 days, so I was beaten quite often. But as long as I was alive, I tried to escape.
He was forced to work up to 16 hours a day, trawling Instagram, TikTok, and WhatsApp for people to con. Liu, along with hundreds of other imprisoned workers, were eventually rescued when Cambodian police raided the compound. But officials say tens of thousands of trafficking victims from all over Asia continued to be lured and forced to carry out online scams to line their captors' pockets.
Clearly the money being embezzled or fraudulently obtained is massive. It's in the millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why these criminals are in this business.
As such scams proliferate, officials have a warning for people on the other side of the screen. Be wary online. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
The 3 stripes. We all know and recognize it as the Adidas logo. Since the early days of the brand, Adidas products have always featured a version of the iconic 3 stripes in designs. The company is proud to have such a strong brand identity, but perhaps a bit too proud. Adidas came under the spotlight this week, but instead of its designs, its trademark Feud with an advocacy group that's making headlines. The company objected to a trademark application by Black Lives Matter on Monday because it's confusingly similar to its own. Shortly after, it withdrew its opposition without providing any explanation. Initially, the opposing window to the application was in September, yet Adidas kept trying to extend that deadline. Now that's quite sus. The brand has been struggling with its image recently, between its messy split with Ye after his racist remarks and the fact that fewer than 5% of its employees identify as Black. Adidas is being criticized for lacking commitment to diversity and just virtue signaling.
Virtue signaling is our Urban Dictionary word of the day. It's taking a conspicuous but essentially useless action ostensibly to support a good cause, but actually to show off how much more moral you are than everybody else.
Another brand that's potentially virtue signaling is Spotify. Remember how the whole controversy surrounding Joe Rogan got it into murky waters? Well, it created a $100 million creator equity fund after that. Turns out it's used less than 10% of that fund. The money was supposed to be distributed to inclusivity projects over the course of 3 years. So far, only 3 initiatives are supported. Bloomberg reports this is due to changing priorities and a lack of structure at the company. While Spotify's case may just be bad planning, the question remains, do companies just throw around diversity and inclusivity as buzzwords to get the public's attention? Now, disturbing as it is, this may be the reality. Studies show that less than 35% of workers in big tech companies across the U.S. are women, and just 11% of those women are people of color. Overall, only 22% of tech employees are from ethnic minorities. That's not really diverse now, is it?
At Big Tech, Big Co, we pride ourselves on diversity. That's why we don't only hire from the top 10 schools, we also hire from the top 20 schools, because diversity is extremely important to us. Due to our 5-year, $100 million pledge to diversify tech, we were able to hire 5 more people of color as contractors this year than in any previous year. And I am personally excited to continue this work.
The Metaverse, once the star of the tech world, is now facing tough times. Even big names like Disney and Microsoft have given up on their Metaverse projects this month, which begs the question, what happened? Lara explains.
We're going to talk about the Metaverse. Metaverse is Fediverse and Metaverse.
It was seen as the future of the internet and hailed as the ultimate virtual playground. Just a year ago, the Metaverse, which blurred the line between the physical and digital, was all we could talk about.
There is a full-size digital Earth being built in the Metaverse, where people can buy land, build cities, travel to anywhere in the world and explore.
All right, perfect.
CEO Mark Zuckerberg hyped up Meta's virtual world, which he promised would transform the way we interact with each other online. He even renamed Facebook to Meta Platforms. But despite the hype and cost, what was once a buzzworthy phenomenon has turned into a snooze-worthy disappointment. So, what went wrong?
So I want to ask you to finish this sentence. The Metaverse is?
Living inside a computer.
I'm not a Metaverse skeptic. I think I'm more of a Metaverse hater.
Okay, fair.
I don't see someone strapping a screen to their face all day and not wanting to ever leave. It seems no way. Yeah. I mean, if you just, I think we're far from disappearing into the Metaverse.
Tech giants like Walt Disney and Microsoft, who got caught up in the hype, have now shut down their projects tied to the digital realm. They're now backing the rise of artificial intelligence. And even Zuckerberg has admitted the Metaverse has not caught on with its user base. His core Metaverse product, Horizon Worlds, is not gaining the traction he had hoped for.
A whole virtual universe.
While people imagine the metaverse to look like something out of Ready Player One, a film set in 2045, it seems we are a long way off from that. The initial goal for Horizon Worlds was to reach 500,000 monthly active users by the end of 2022. It's only managed 200,000.
It's reported that there are 470 million active users in the whole metaverse monthly. But some recent reports claim that some main spaces like Decentraland only have about 38 active users.
Zuckerberg himself had warned that the metaverse will take 5 to 10 years to develop, and it still requires the cooperation of big tech to become one single immersive environment. Will it ever be able to deliver on its promises, or will it remain nothing more than a metaverse? Only time will tell.
All right, on to what's trending.
Was Gwyneth Paltrow at fault? No.
Now adjourned. Thank you.
It was the trial that spurred 1,000 memes. Gwyneth Paltrow has won one whole dollar, that's right, $1, in damages in her ski collision case. She also lost half a day of skiing because of the incident, but the internet gained golden material for what was reminiscent of a really bad reality TV show.
May I ask how tall you are?
I'm just under 5'10".
Okay, I am so jealous.
I think I'm shrinking though.
You and me both. I have to wear 4-inch heels just to make it to 5'5".
Oh,
So
they're very nice.
I'm in my heels. We're about the same height, about 5'5" with heels.
It's roughly.
Oh, tell me I'm taller, please. And said you skied directly into my effing back at the top of your lungs.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I apologize for my bad language. I said, you skied directly into my effing back. And he said, oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
Right. You're small but mighty. Actually, you're not that small.
Wow, how is that real life? And that's our show. Find us on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.